Hey everyone. Bit of an update on the Tonka Bulldozer. I ran into a few more issues that I needed to resolve and redid a couple of things, and still a lot more to do. This process of turning a toy into an RC isn't always the simplest thing to do. So let's have a look. So first off, let me show you something. One of the problems I ran into. So let me plug in this motor. So it works, right? The tracks work well, the timing is good, but it just has no power. It's literally super easy to stop. So I went from this to this. Bit of a difference in size. There's a 550 motor on it. I'm pretty sure this is going to have more than enough power. But the problem is I had to redesign the bracket, which I did. Here it is. So we're going to take everything apart off of there, mount this on here, mount the new hubs, and I had to print some new wheels to fit the new hubs, and I gave them a bit of style at the same time. You know, why not? Also changed the design a little bit of the wheels, where now they're screwed in. It's like they're printed separately, as you can see here, and they're screwed together instead of being glued together. I think it's a much better setup or design, if you will, and you don't get your fingers full of glue. In the original design of the Tonka Bulldozer, there's only one wheel holding up the center, which would be here. So I added this piece here with rollers on each side. Now, because there's no suspension at all, and I wanted them to be able to move a little bit, each wheel has its own little kind of a spring setup. There's the outer wheels, and that's the center wheel over there. So the wheels are printed this way. Again, printed in a way that doesn't need any supports, and then unfortunately you need to use glue on these ones anyways. A little bit of glue in there, and that's that for those three, with the support arm, which I'm supposed to have two of. There you go, two of those. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these over, and maybe we'll actually have a working base. So these require some M4 flatheads. Yeah. See that? This here has me worried a little bit because it flexes somewhat. I'm wondering if I should make a brace that screws on top here that would prevent the movement. When you're modifying customizing or doing anything out of the ordinary, that you can't just go out and say, okay, I need this part, I need that part. You got to figure out what you need. I found these at work. These are 6.5 millimeters, and the 3 millimeter rod, threaded rod, fits right through it. Even once you cut, you actually leave the burr there, because it pretty much is the same size. But the thing is, like, I'm not just modifying this for myself. I have to make it or set it up so that people can actually do it at home and get the parts that they need. So this is one of the sources, one of the parts that I need to source in order for people to be able to do it at home. So, a good set of tools is good too. When you print, things don't always go exactly the way you want them to. So it's good to have tools, especially a good set of drill bits to ream out holes to the right diameter. Now, obviously, my plan is to put this up online so people can actually download and reproduce it. By the time I put this up online, there's a good chance things will have changed a little bit. And I'm taking you through the process anyway, so you're probably going to see any changes I make along the way. Like this shaft here, as I was saying before, I might switch it to a 5 millimeter threaded rod. Alright, so that's pretty good. Theoretically, from my design, these should fit perfectly, but see, like I said before, I should have put them on, and I should put the wheels on these and then installed this into place. So I'll be right back. Now, right off the bat here, the alignment of my holes, screw holes, are a bit off, so I'm going to have to readjust that and reprint these wheels. Okay, so one side is much looser than the other. Well, I thought I had this down size-wise. Obviously, there's a lot more play here, and if I reduce one, then there's not enough movement, so I need to figure out a way to get more adjustability than I had here. I need to be able to move the pod back and forth to be able to adjust the tension here, because this is way too loose. So how exactly am I going to do that? Well, I wanted to redesign this anyways to be able to hold the motors a bit tighter. So, like I said before, it's a work in progress. I gotta figure out how to make the rear pod more adjustable and work out a couple of other details. So I guess it's back to the old drawing board. Catch you guys later.